Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Sheikh Hassan Jami from Bangladesh, and this is the International Business Olympiad 2025 case presentation. I'm having some problem regarding the slideshow in my PowerPoint, therefore I'll be using the normal viewing mode. Autobahn Motors, founded in the mid-20th century, is a leading ICE car manufacturer with strong domestic and global presence, known for high-quality, fuel-efficient vehicles. The company now faces regulatory and environmental pressures as EVs gain popularity. Management is now working to rebalance the production between ICE and EVs, while leadership remains cautious about the challenges this transition may bring. Financial analysis and forecast. Urban Motors has two revenue drivers, ICE division and EV division. Output increases each year for EV division from 2 billion investment and transitioning ICE facilities for EV production. Net margin increases per year up to 10% by 2029 due to the learning curve effect and lower average cost. 2026 revenue is projected to be 2.4 billion at 7% margin, giving us 168 million net profit. The ICE section will lose market share at 10% per year. Net margin will drop due to scaling down of production, resulting in losing economies of scale and higher average cost. EV division cannot offset losses in the short run, however, it will increase profit in the long run. Financial position analysis. Earning before interest, tax, and depreciation remains resilient at 1.19 billion in 2024, but dips to about 1 billion in 2026 under new depreciation. Asset turnover deteriorates sharply from 2.5 euro in 2024 to 0.86 euro in 2026, reflecting underutilization of fixed assets. EV unit economics show a 20% gross margin. However, overhead compresses profit margin to 5%. Depreciation from 2 billion capex adds 0.4 billion yearly, assuming 20% rate straight line, lifting total depreciation to 0.6 billion by 2026, increasing expenses. Investment appraisal. ROI of 58.6% shows a highly profitable investment, but ignores when the profit is earned. Accounting rate of return, roughly 12%, shows average return per year relative to investment. However, it ignores timing of cash flow. IRR of negative 14% shows that the business does not recover the investment in the first 5 years, as early profits are too small. Short-term return is negative, signaling high short-term financial risk, namely low liquidity and poor cash flow. The 2 billion investment is therefore overly ambitious, given it will take Autobahn 6 years to break even. Operations strategy. For scaling up EV production, these are the steps. Recruiting or retraining ICE workers, build supply relationships and strategic alliance, use spaced investment, government subsidies, incentives, or sustainability funds. Continuous performance evaluation and using lean scaling approach that is iterative and feedback driven. And for scaling down ICE facilities, the following can be done. Disposal of excess capacity, reducing expenditure, both revenue and capital, and reducing staff. The two functions on the right uses linear programming method to align output with market demand to avoid over and under supply. This balances EV scaling with ICE descaling. Now let's talk about improving cost efficiency of the EV production process. The following can be done. Quality assurance to gain efficiency from lower errors, faster production, and lower waste per unit. Computer-aided manufacturing (CAM) to lower unit cost, and for mass production, which will result in fewer human errors. Operational flexibility to alter output in reaction to changes in market demand. Moreover, Kaizen is a production method for continuous progress and elimination of inefficiencies. Deployed at an individual level, hence is very effective. Simultaneous engineering will allow Autobahn to enter the market before competitors such as Tesla for strategic positioning and gaining market share. Now let's see how Audubon can use strategic positioning. The advantage-disadvantage analysis suggests price-sensitive buyers in the EV market, making mass market more attractive than the luxury niche. Audubon should therefore position EVs competitively at accessible price points to capture scale. Risk analysis and mitigation. The risk of short-term financial instability, for example, negative IRR, can be addressed mainly through phased funding, subsidies, and liquidity buffers. Workforce risk can be mitigated through retraining, severance payments, and initiating transitional programs. Organizational risks can be handled by restructuring into exploitative and explorative units, following the ambidextrous structure. Competition can be countered by competitive pricing, standardization, and regulatory adaptability. Together, these measures create resilience during the transition. In conclusion, Audubon should use ICE profits to fund EV growth, pursue phased investment, improve cost efficiency, and mitigate risks through workforce adaptation and market positioning. This balanced transition will ensure both profitability and competitiveness in the AV era. Thank you.